Ding dang dong. Only take what resonates, and please leave. My name is Whitney Moon. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's a pretty early day, pretty early reading, so I'm going to try to pull in what I can, although I don't really think anybody's going to be here on live, so I'm going to work with some of the energies that have been on me today, okay? South Node with Virgo in the 5th house. I almost feel like it's something you're denying yourself. Like you're hiding from something. Or you're trying to find, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a message like you've been working on something for a while. Like this desk. Honestly, I've painted this desk now so many different times because I'm working on it. It's a constant work in progress. You know, once it gets shitty, it has to be redone again. So maybe, I don't know, maybe you're like learning something and you're not quite ready to put it out yet, but I feel like you should, because it seems like you're denying yourself something that you're really good at. I mean, it's going to be different for everybody what the final outcome of that is, but I don't know. Like, why would it be South Node? Well, South Node with the Hermit resonates. I think those are two that, I don't know, your chakras might be unaligned, which is why you're not you're not feeling like you're good enough or something, like your work isn't going to be good enough, no one's going to like it. And for all you know, it's been like you've wasted years because people would have bought it like right away, you know, but sometimes, I mean, we try to make things perfect, you know, Tower moment. Try to make things perfect, and then we just deny ourselves so much trying to make it perfect. And that's the thing is, so many artists that you know out there, like, it doesn't matter what it is that they're doing. I mean, they're doing it because they want to do it, because they're good at it. They're not producing something because it's going to sell. They're doing it because they really want to do it. Like, when you think about doing something, even if it's, you know, especially when you were a kid, right? Something like karate or something, and you were learning it as a kid, and then as an adult you become like a stunt man or something, right? Because you're really good at it, but then you think, well, I'm not good enough at it. But that's like a true artist that always is pushing themselves. I think that's like, who said that? Be Real, I think. There's this song with Be Real. I don't know if it's a Cypress Hill song or if it's just him. But anyways, he talks about how, is it Be Real? anyways, one of these songs, one of these rappers, I don't know, the song's not really coming to me, but like I'm getting the analogy of it. And he says he actually he had to learn how to out rap himself because he was getting too good at it. So we had to figure out different ways of doing it. And you know, different analogies of how to do it because it was becoming too easy. He could rhyme anyway, anywhere. And it was like, it almost maybe seemed like too easy for him, you know, as if he was, I don't know, too good at something. When like, how can you be too good at something? You can't. But you can master things, obviously, right? Trying to control everything in reverse. So Aries and the Emperor energy in reverse makes me feel like 12th house of sacrifice. Okay, we're coming to conclusion here. Okay, yeah, there's this gentleman my sister is working with right now to write a movie. He's had to learn a few things because he's never written a movie with somebody before. He's never done what he's done before like he has with my sister. So there's a lot of things that he's learning, and there's a lot of things that he tries to hold back, but he can't. He tries to deny himself, but he can't. It needs to be there for the movie. And it almost kind of seems like he needs to let his emperor down, right? Because he wants to write a movie that he likes. It's not about anybody else. Okay, we don't do things again because we think it's going to be popular, because that's what's going to fuck the whole moment up for somebody, is thinking that they have to produce something that's going to be popular when what is popular, that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? It's either picked up by the crowd or it's not. And if it's not, then doesn't necessarily mean that that's a sacrifice or a conclusion that you can't do anything. It just might mean, I don't know, sometimes it takes a little bit more energy to find your followers. It's not easy all the time to find people. Okay? That's why we stretch shit over. That's why we're on YouTube. That's why we're on fucking social media. That's why we're, you know, around the world connecting with one another now via this like tiny little box thing, right? Because we can't get to one another anymore. We're evolving. Humanity is evolving, which means you have to evolve too. Okay, stalking you. Jesus, reminded of you, intentions. Okay, so as long as you have good intentions, great intentions to what you're doing, you find your people. Okay, it's just sometimes it doesn't happen quickly for everybody or as fast for somebody as it does for somebody else. It just depends on what your motivation is, and again, like, how willing are you to do what you really love to do without denying yourself life? Because now with deep wounds, it's like, it seems like somebody having reoccurring nightmares. I don't know, maybe you keep having a nightmare that this is going to fail. It's going to fail, it's going to fail, it's going to fail. And that's the thing. You didn't start doing something seeing yourself as a failure. You started doing something seeing if you can accomplish it or not. That in itself is an accomplishment. Right? It's like making a CD and then nobody buys it, but is that what it's supposed to? Is that why you did it? You know, like, or did you do it because you wanted to make a CD? Then you make one. It doesn't matter if it sells. It doesn't matter if nobody likes it. That's the whole creative process of it, is that you do things that you love, knowing or anticipating that other people will love them too, considering you have things in common with people. As long as you have things in common with people, then people are there's going to be somebody that loves what you do. Okay, there always is. There's going to be you think you're a freak of nature or something. There's always going to be some other freak out there too that wants to be just like you. Okay, and I know that it's hard to imagine, but there's different people. Not everybody wants the same things. Not everybody wants to be in Hollywood or in a giant house, or, you know, some people just want a good job that they can go to every day, or a nice family to come home to. I mean, it's not fucking complicated for everybody. Although It can't be complicated for the ones around you. And it's like, why does that matter? What other people think around you? It doesn't. It shouldn't. But for some reason, somebody wants to go fucking toe-to-toe with you. Okay, and this might be something that, like, you've mastered. And you're like, really? Okay, I mean, go toe-to-toe with me, whatever. And they're, like, risking their life on it. You know, they're risking something on it. Okay, thinking that you're not as good as what you are. And then you beat them. You know, and it's like you're not even trying. Okay, and they're trying with all their might, thinking that you're just full of shit. You know, you just got one off. You just, and that's not the case. That's not the case. So whoever is challenging you, that's nice. Let them challenge you. The more they challenge you, then the more you recognize if you're doing something that you truly want to do, or if you're doing something because everybody else wants you to do it, and therefore you're going to just stop. Okay, because if it's for other people, you're never going to finish it. But if it's for you, you're always going to finish it. You're always going to keep it moving. Okay, so whatever Spirit is like, whatever you're denying yourself, whatever you've been sacrificing, because it has been a sacrifice. You have sacrificed your art in some way. Maybe somebody didn't believe in you, you know, saying, well, you think you can get rich selling your art. You need to go to school every day, or you need to go to work. You need to, you know, a lot of people around you, it doesn't really matter if they're family or not. You know, you try to make some creative move with your life. They ain't going to like that because they didn't do it. And if they didn't do it, then why should you get to do it? It's one of those things. It's like you don't get to do something, even though you're the one that's going to risk your life to do it. You don't get to do something that risks your life. What the fuck are you talking about? Doesn't make any sense, right? So people put these expectations on collective that make no sense to their life because it's other people tapping in on you, thinking that they know what they're talking about. It's simply making content and having people make comments on things they have no idea what they're talking about. Like, honestly, you look dumb. Just keep your mouth shut, okay? You have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea what you're saying, but you're going to talk like you think you know, and you're going to get shut down pretty easy and look like an idiot. But some people, their pride is so high, they will allow their temple to constantly look like a stupid one. Okay, and inside they're like, I'll get you, you know, plotting against collective on how they're gonna fuck you over because you fucking exposed them, or you told the truth, or I don't know, you just decided to go to work one day and they thought you were gonna stay home and try to contact them. Okay, this could be somebody that really thought that you were gonna chase them. Okay, and now they're questioning your whole life because you didn't do something that they asked you to do, like as if they own you. As if they own you, as if everything they say, collective, and everybody around must do, like they're God. And this energy came out yesterday, which is why I didn't do a reading. This woman acting like God, so much so that she actually called herself, in my head, Godette. I was like, no, you did not. Just call yourself Godette. Really? You think you're up there with that man? Like, just sitting beside him, making all the decisions with him? Like, oh my God. I couldn't believe it. Like, it's like, you know, because you think the ego is so strong with a man because the male is usually more preoccupied with the ego. But once the woman gets a hold of the ego, okay, and then she realizes, wow, I've got this magical dick between my legs and I can just tell everybody what to do and I can just fucking put my shit on. And it's like, oh my good God, you just overstepped so much thinking that you all that and then some. Okay, and oof. So somebody has I feel like this person's overstepped you. And that's why you won't make this move, because this person, whoever they are to you, they act like they're God. Godette, apparently. So I don't know if it's a feminine energy, but they actually act like they are God over your life. Okay, and that's the scam. They're con artists. You're the real artist. They're the scam. Okay, so whatever it is that you think, like, okay, so maybe there's some product that you do or something that you do and somebody else does it. And you're like, well, it's going to look like I'm copying them or something. They're the scam. They're out there copying all these other people. Don't fucking worry about thinking that you're copying somebody when this is something that you've done your whole life. People do the same things. You think I'm the only tarot reader on YouTube? You think I claim to be the only tarot reader in the world? You think I'm the only psychic? Oh yeah, by the way, guys, I'm the only psychic in the entire world. Like, really? Am I like psychic? Okay, like, no. Okay, but you put somebody in this hot seat that can do something, suddenly now they're the only ones in their mind that can fucking do it. And that is, wow. Okay. That is challenging. That's the challenging part, because the universe is having a hard time with this person because of how egotistical they really are. It's hard to see in a woman. Clearly, she's really letting her dick shine. Okay, she's really putting it all out there. Okay, and making people look at what she can do. And if she's demasculating men, okay, she's making some man out there look like an idiot. Okay, and it's not. I actually heard my father say this. He was, oh my God, this was a vision last night in my dreams. My father is very preoccupied with just his wife and his testosterone, and his wife rules the world and everything. And he was standing. So he was having this like conversation with this judge in my dreams last night. And he was like on the stand. Okay, but he was being tried. Like there was only him and this judge, and that's it. And like some jury person. Okay, or something sitting there, because there always has to be a witness. Okay, so there's this like witness, like maybe it was the person, stenographer or whatever they're called, writing everything down or whatever. And this judge says to my father, like, why did you do this to your daughter? Why did you take everything away from them? Why did you defeminize them? Why did you let this woman, i.e. his wife, kick them out of the house and rob them and all this shit? And he goes, well, happy wife, happy life. Am I right? And it must have been a male judge. And he just looked at my father. No expression. And so my father looked down, because he thinks, my father always tries to be the nice guy. Happy wife, happy life. Isn't that right, Tim the Two-O-Man Taylor? He's one of those, okay, one of those guys, okay? And it's really like, I don't know, I thought he was a jock in high school, but it turns out nobody even liked him in his high school. So I don't know exactly where he gets his, I think it's from his wife. I don't know. He's always been addicted to sex. My father has a sex addiction, okay? I caught him many times as a child watching porn in the basement, and like I would creep down because that's where the soda was, right? And all the snacks. And like my father would just be watching porn in the middle of the night. And I'm like, are you fucking, I didn't know what it was because I was a kid, right? And this was like internet just came out. So like we had dial up, right? So I could hear the dial up, and be like, what's my father doing? And then he'd pull up his screen and then he's watching his porn. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why is this man not sleeping? Why is he in the middle of the night, watching porn? Like I never understood so disgusting much of my father and what he's like. I mean, my father rapes me in my dreams. He, the other night, he tried to be my boyfriend. We were sitting on this beach and he had his arm around me. And he looked like from the 70s. He was young Randy. And, he looked like maybe 20 years old or something, this creepy fucking pedo mustache on him, which he used to have back. He still probably has his mustache, to be honest. And, he was sitting there with me on the beach, and everybody was saying hi to him, and nobody knew that I was his daughter, because nobody knows what I look like, because I haven't been in my father's life for fucking 10, 15 years now, right? Nobody knows what I look like. So in this realm, I still look like Whitney, but they didn't know who I was, because they don't know that Whitney is his fucking daughter, not his girlfriend. Okay, so there, oh man, in the shower today, there was his wife standing there yelling at me, saying that she still has sex with my father 5 days a week. And I go, oh, well, at least you think you're keeping him satisfied, because he's still raping me in my dreams. So you might be having sex with him in this realm 5 days a week. Why is he coming into my dreams acting like he's my boyfriend? And then actually in the dream at the beach, I was so creeped out. Like I was just waiting for somebody to say like, oh my God, isn't that your daughter? And like, get me out of it. But nobody would say that I was nobody would announce. So I wrote with a Sharpie, because he was on this side. I wrote with a Sharpie, I'm Whitney Flint. This is my father, Randy Flint. And then I had to trick my father into writing Randy Flint on his back. And it said, I am his daughter. And I pointed at me. And then I got out of the dream. Because I was actually, I've been tattooing now myself for a few months now, since the winter anyways. And a lot of things I realized I've had to put a lot of protective symbols on me and stuff. And I was actually going to write Randy Scott Flint is my father. Because what I ended up doing is I've got Mercury on my stomach for the times that he rapes me now, so that Mercury can watch what he does in this other realm, because he won't stop doing it, right? That I have to put Neptune on me, I had to put these planets on me that would watch what my father's doing, okay? This bat on my hand watches what my father does. All these things, I can carry them into another realm, so I can defend myself, okay? But it doesn't stop him from sodomizing me. It doesn't stop him from raping me in front of Amazon drivers and shit. Like, the shit that my father has done to me in my nightmares is fucked. I tried to email about him. I've tried to ask him about it. He doesn't. He's the most immature person in the world. He doesn't talk to me about anything. I told him that I was molested as a child, didn't talk to me about it, didn't want to come near me, doesn't want to know what happened. He believes that I'm a liar. Everything is lies. Everything is Whitney's trying to get attention. Trying to this. Do you think that I would accuse a 70-year-old man of doing something to me if he didn't? But my family says that Whitney just wants attention. Are you fucking kidding me? I don't. Okay, you go right ahead with your whatever. I'm just going to go and live my life. And now I'm going to live a life way separate from them, because I know how to tell the truth. All they know how to do is lie. And all my dad knows how to do is make his wife happy. Well, my wife, happy life. I mean, the amount of times that he used to say that as a kid. And she would throw these temper tantrums, and she would fucking freak out because she was overworked and blah, 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 because she wanted a trailer. She wanted to go on vacation. She wanted holidays all the time, so she had to work harder. So she fucking took it out on us, okay? She basically stapled the closet shut and didn't allow us food, because if we ate anything that wasn't in a meal, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, we were prosecuted for it and grounded for it if we even touched her cupboards. I used to sneak brown sugar and cream cheese together, because she always had cream cheese to cook. Like, the amount of things that I had to do while I was being starved. Oh my God. And then if I wasn't being starved, I was being pushed to the point of explosion, because if I didn't finish everything on my plate, I wasn't allowed to leave. Well, kids don't know how much they can eat. So I'd be forced to sit there for hours until I finished my meal, to the point where I would just let the dog eat it. I'd fucking make it seem like I was chewing and shit, and I'd throw it down to the dog. Like, fuck you. You think you're gonna sit here and abuse me? I don't give a fuck. And like, your parents say, oh, they don't remember. They can't prosecute us now. We didn't know what we were doing. That's what we were told. You were a hard kid to deal with. Who the fuck are you saying is hard to deal with? The kid who was crying at the table because they took a little too much spaghetti? Or you who's sitting right there with some arrogant fuck in his ego going, eat every single bite before you can leave, even though I'm throwing up? Who's the egotistical one? And now I'm getting that fucking movie, Seven, Gluttony. He makes that fat guy sit there and eat and eat and eat until he dies. Honestly, my parents, I swear to fucking God, made it seem like I was going to die if I ate any more food. And then they were sitting there, nope, you can't move. Maybe you should rethink what you put on your plate. Like 5 years old, rethink what I put on my plate. Maybe you should rethink about how you fucking parent, bitch. Honestly, if I took my parents to court right now, I could fucking sodomize them in front of a judge in a fucking second. Make them shit their fucking selves. Make them bend over and take it by the fucking judge and everybody around for the shit that they fucking put me through. And they think, oh, she was a kid. She doesn't remember. Oh, she was a kid. She was hard that day. They said that to a judge. Oh, my daughter was overreacting that day, so we fucking grounded her for 14 hours and didn't allow her to eat anything while she was crying or go to the bathroom. Oh, okay, so that's how you treated somebody? Okay, no, you don't get to just say that and say that the child was being difficult. Any parent who says their child is being difficult is giving all the fucking power to their child and laying down and giving it all away and going, I don't know what to do about my kid. Well, maybe if you just started parenting, that you wouldn't have to sit here and act like, what am I supposed to do with my kid? I don't know. Maybe if you actually started being around, talking to them, caring about them, wondering where the fuck they go, where they end up. Okay, maybe you shouldn't drop them over at their Uncle Johnny's house anymore when every single time they fucking come out of there, they're fucking crying or they're weak or they're shaking or they're doing something. Okay, pay a fucking attention to what the fuck is going on. Okay, because if this person is the person in your life that constantly tells you that you're nothing, that you're jack shit, you're not going to give anything to this world, you need to go to your 9 to 5, okay, you don't get to do your side hustle or the thing that you love, you better get your ass up and do that thing that you love mad quick before you lose every fucking ounce in you that says you want to do it. Right? Because if you let these haters in on all this shit, on everything that they've been doing to Collective to get them to shut up all these years, Collective's had enough. We can't shut up anymore. If we do, we die, and that's what they want. You stop swimming, you die. Okay? You stop circulating yourself, you die. Okay? They're chained up. They're hung up on some fucking drum past. They ain't even moving. which means they're not alive. Don't go over to them. Don't go hanging out with them, okay? Because their tower moment, their hangman moment is about to be done. It's about to be done, son. Okay, they're losing their, I feel like they're losing their ability to control you. Okay, they're losing their ability to overmine you. Okay, brainwash you and make you sacrifice truly what you want to do, because I feel like you're having nightmares because you're not doing what you really want to do. You're surrendering to them and to this hate that you can't do something. Who the fuck? Anyways, I don't know who the fuck can tell a grown-ass person that can't do something, but trust me, I watched my stepmother tell my father that he couldn't do stuff for fucking 30 years, so trust me. I don't know who's grown up, isn't actually a grown-up and letting somebody else abuse them, but you gotta fucking step up. And I was watching this documentary on, it's called My Wife, My Abuser, and she fucking abused her husband for 20 years. And it wasn't until he put up these nanny cams all through the house and showed what his wife does to him on the regular. Oh my God. Like you fucking humiliates him. Just absolutely humiliates him. Treats him like a baby, makes him walk around, makes him crawl around like a fucking dog, puts a diaper on him. I mean, the shit that she fucking does to him is absolutely, it's insulting to be a woman and know that she did that to a man. And then, I was friends with this guy whose fucking wife cheated on him for months. And I was like, he's still trying to get back together with her. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, honestly, that's not love, dude. I don't care how long you've known each other since you were 17, 16. I don't give a fuck. Your wife went behind your back for months and fucked another guy. Okay. And like, really? You want to take her back? Like, and you know why? Because some people, they want to live in their misery. Okay. And they just want to go by what somebody else says. He doesn't know. He couldn't even make up what he wanted for dinner one night. I was like, honestly, he couldn't decide. Like, no decisions this guy could make for himself. And I thought, like, has your wife literally made all your decisions for you for 20 fucking years that you can't even decide what you want for dinner? You can't decide if you want anything. You can't decide if you can even furnish your apartment because he wants to go back to his wife, but his wife won't take him back because she's still fucking the other guy, which she's been fucking the other guy for years now. Like, you want to make a fucking dude look like an idiot? Go and fuck his best friend. Go and fuck somebody that he knows and then fucking put it all over the internet. Make him really feel like a feminine energy. Okay. But women have to understand that if they want to do that to a male, they've now taken on the male side, which means whoever they're going to hook up with, even if it's a male, is a fucking pussy whip bitch. Okay, he's going to be a little fucking girl. Okay, he's going to do everything that you say because you want to be the male, because apparently you've got the strap on now, right? You've got the commando. Okay, so now you're in charge, Cindy. Okay, now you're going to tell everybody what to do, because that's the same thing. My stepmother, she runs the relationship. She might as well walk around with a strap on, and my dad just jumps on it every single day, waiting to get fucked by his wife, because she has bankrupted him almost. She has taken all of his money. She has made him spend money on shit that he didn't have to spend. She's stolen from us, stolen actual money from us, okay, just to pay for her next vacation or her next shopping trip or whatever Cindy wants to do next. Worked for fucking 15 years. Okay, she took retirement early because she said she had Meniere's and she was dizzy, yet drove every single day. Riddle me that. Oh, so you can drive a car every day, but you can't go to work? I call your bullshit on that. But sympathy. My father dove right into it because that's what he wants. Fucking pussy pot pie for lunch every day. Well, then that's what he's going to get. You want a fucking woman running your fucking shit? Go right ahead. You're going to find a fucking woman that'll make you a fine wife. Okay? You want to step into your energy, you're going to be dealing with people that are also in their own energy and not flipping fucking switches and flipping personalities and deciding today they want to be a dude and tomorrow they'll be feminine. Watch this man. Oh my God. I don't understand. Like, making himself look like a full woman, but yet keeping his shit, keeping his gitch. Why? You want to be a woman? Women don't have dicks. You want to be a woman? Well, you got to bleed every month. I just don't understand. Oh, it's grass is always greener on the other side, right? No, it isn't. You got manipulated by your parents. You need to fucking grow up and realize that you're about to cut your fucking manhood off and never have an orgasm again. Same with women. Want this outie instead of an innie? You're never going to have an orgasm again. They just took that away from you. They took everything away from you by telling you had to change sex for no fucking reason. Okay, we were born like this, baby. Give it all you got. You can't go changing shit because you got a little bit of money. Well, you can if you want to be mass manipulated by something that says that you're an opposite energy than what you are. I mean, this isn't that kind of channel, but like, honestly, clearly you're dealing with somebody, I think, that is a feminine who wants to be a masculine, which is why this is coming up. Okay, she wants to be a masculine, but yet stays in her feminine, like pushes her boobs up, makes sure that she's dressed in pink all the time to make sure that people know she's a feminine, even though she's all masculine. As soon as she gets into her house, she's a masculine. As soon as they can't see her husband, she's a masculine, right? But she's dressed in pink, so you better make sure that you know that she's a woman. Anybody that wears a lot of pink, be careful, okay? Because they're either over-feminizing themselves, which is dangerous, or they're so masculated that they put pink in their life, so then they fool everybody around them. Trust me. Skanky bitches. Oh man, I was watching California last night. Skanky bitch. Okay, shave that thing and teach it to hunt. Okay, honestly, somebody needs to watch California with a K. Okay, and learn early grace. Okay, that's all I'm saying. You want to be a man? Check out early grace. All right, tell me you want to be that guy. I mean, it is Brad Pitt and he's smoking hot in it, but anyways. Okay, now we've got Candyman. Candyman. Hey, I just stitched a bee onto my purse today. And look, that's the bees right there, bitches. The bees are in town. You know they're stingers. Have like some therapeutic shit in it or something like that. I don't fucking know. I was like, that fucking shit hurts like a bitch. Tell me that it's medicinal, my ass. How can some bees kill people and other people, like nothing happens to them, is beyond me. Okay, so we have the witch card. Okay, we've got the Dracula card, and we've got the Blair Witch card with Candyman. Okay, so this is a weird message, and I like it, and I'm going to go with it. There could be somebody who's going to watch this, or you could be in the chat. I don't know. They lie about how many people are in the chat, so if you think there's 2, there could be 50. They always lie to me. So there could be somebody in the chat, and you have magical powers, okay, that you think maybe you have forbidden yourself from using, okay, forbade yourself from using over the years, because you did use them as a kid. Okay, but for some reason, as an adult, you won't use your powers, or maybe because you don't know that you have them. So with the woods here, it's almost like maybe you need to go into the woods and activate your fucking power. Okay, I just heard, yeah, boy. Okay, activate your power, go for a walk, get yourself, I'm not going to say lost in the woods. Please don't get lost, but maybe possibly go into the woods. I think there was this other fucking message like the other day that was like, someone's got to get their feet in the grass or some shit like that. I'm getting that kind of feeling again. Okay, these cards feel like they're doubled up. Okay, so we have potion, butterfly, and leaves. Invigoration, empowerment, with transformation, joy, and beauty, and then renewal, revival, and progress. So it's almost like drink the juice. Oh man, when I was opening up my third eye, I don't know, 10 years ago or something like that, I drank so much mushroom tea. Holy fuck. Okay, I was like tripping out for days. But that's what helped my third eye evolve and realize that there are other dimensions right here. And oh my God, I saw ghosts, I saw faces, everything came alive. Fucking mushrooms in the forest is like the scariest and most empowering thing in the world. Honestly, I don't know if you've ever done shrooms before, but the safe way to do shrooms is to put them in a tea. And to put them in a mint tea, peppermint tea, because it really, like, mushrooms taste like shit. They taste like pure shit. And the magic mushrooms obviously don't taste any better. So if you make mushroom tea, and sometimes I used to like grind the mushrooms up and almost make them into like a powder and put them in the tea. And it was like an ayahuasca trip. Okay. And it was literally like this whole life-changing thing happened on mushrooms this one time. I'm not going to tell you what it is, obviously, but when I looked it up, like the purging and everything, when I looked it up, it was very, very similar to an ayahuasca experience. And I got to do it in the company of my own backyard and with nobody around. Okay. And it was life-changing. There were things that I saw that I hadn't seen since I was a child. Okay. And look at that. There's Hereditary. Okay. And that was like most of my molestation, most of my abuse, the way my parents were, stuff like that. So much of that came through on this trip because I needed healing. I needed to heal from it. I needed to, and in order to heal from something, you have to address that it happened, right? That's the only way you can heal from it is to stop blaming yourself and to get to the top of the mountain, per se, and purge and let it go and release yourself from it, because so much of the things that we do to ourselves is because of what's been done to us. And if we don't know what was done to us because we haven't opened up the door to that since we were kids, it's hard to remember what it was. But then once you open up the door, once you realize what happened, it marks your whole path through life. And all these things that you thought you did as a deranged child or as a problem child, or, you've got issues. No, you don't. You're a 16-year-old trying to understand what the fuck just happened to you. And you can't, because you're 16-year-old and you can't comprehend it. Okay. There's things that are going to happen and things that are going to come out, okay, of you, if that's what you want. It has to be, I woke up one day and chose God, not the devil. And it was a life-changing thing. I'm not religious. I don't go to church. But it was such a lighter experience than being stuck in the dark with the devil and drinking all the time and fucking around and doing this shit and getting myself almost killed. I was getting into my 30s and I couldn't do that shit anymore. I was gonna fucking die. And yeah, okay, my parents wanted to watch all they wanted. Oh, she's got problems. Oh, she drinks too much. They never wanted to help. It was always, it was name blaming. It was like, well, you've got this wrong with you and you've got that wrong with you, but why? It was never, why do I have these things wrong with me? Like, yes, you can sit there and point out and nitpick everything wrong with your fucking daughter. Sure, Dad, but why? There was never why until once I figured it out, then he slammed the door in my face, because the why included his actions as well, which he knew was going to include his actions. Do you think your family, your mom or your dad is innocent to knowing that you were being abused, or taking it out on you because you didn't know how to deal with that abuse, as if acting like you're even more of a problem than what you were when you first got here? What? Okay, the things that people can say to you that make it seem like it's your fault that you're here, it's not. Okay, it's their fault. Shit starts from the beginning, okay? And you carry that shit that happened to you as a kid all the way until you die, okay? And Rosemary on the bottom of the deck, all right, with remembrance. Thing is that people, you're going to remember eventually what was done to you, okay? And if you feel like nothing was done to you, like, I used to say to myself, I used to gaslight myself all the time. Oh, if something happened, you would remember. If something happened, you would remember. And you don't. So therefore, nothing happened. And until I realized that something did happen. So, and I knew that my stepmother's voice was in my head for a very long time. And she was the one gaslighting me every time. I couldn't have anything wrong with me. She had to make something wrong with her even bigger. And then people would forget that anything was wrong with me because now Cindy's freaking out, right? Cindy could never have anything wrong with anybody else without diving into the middle of attention. Because it was all about attention with her. And because it was so much attention for a grown-ass woman, okay, us kids suffered any attention. So we lashed out. We did things, okay, because nobody was paying attention. Nobody was watching. Nobody wanted to. Yet, you're going to tell me you love me? You don't even know what's going on in my life. I'm 10 years old. But yeah, keep telling me that you love me, even though you have no fucking idea what's going on in my life. Okay, your parents, ignorance is bliss. If I don't ask, then I don't need to know. It's your child. If you don't ask, you're fucked. Okay? Because you're the only reason why they're fucking here. You make them take the heat. You make your kid take the heat off of you. Ha ha. Ha ha. Krampus is going to find your ass. Okay? Trunk, stability, loyalty, liability. You see what I mean? Kind of seemed like you couldn't rely on these people. Okay? And that's what really sucks, is because however way you had to seek shelter, whatever you had to go through because of other people's very poorly made decisions, okay, which is why you shut your powers down. Okay, you could have been telling the future every single day and your dad couldn't handle it anymore. It tells you to shut the fuck up and stop talking. Okay, because you were so on the right track, they didn't want you to speak anymore. People who don't want to hear you speak, it's because they don't want to address what you're about to say. Okay, because whatever it is you're speaking or saying shouldn't bother anybody. And if it does, there's a reason why it's bothering somebody. Okay, and that's not your fault. Okay, so now it's like jump into those fucking woods, get back into your power. Okay, drink some tea. And I'm not saying, okay, get off the mushroom tea now, maybe just have some herbal teas. And I'm talking straight herbs, not the shit you buy in the packages in the grocery stores. You need thyme, rosemary, mint, all those fresh ones that you can get literally right in your grocery store, you know, with the produce. Usually, I mean, we have herbs there. Okay. Get some herbs, get some rose hip, go to your local Chinese doctor. Okay. Get some herbal tea. Get that tea in you. Those herbs are going to speak to you. Rosemary, woof. Okay. She's a tight bitch. All right. She's going to get you to fucking be a little bit more potent. Okay. Get some thyme in there. She's going to teach you to slow down. Okay. Get a little bit of citro. She's going to maybe tell you to kick your Mexican up a bit. I'm just kidding. You know, like herbs, they can do so much for you. They can change your fucking life. Lemon balm. Oh my God. Lemon balm tea at night is like eradicating. Okay. It just like helps you just calm the fuck down while drinking this very beautiful lemony tea. Okay. And I'm not one for lemon, but damn, lemon balm tea is fabulous. Okay. There's harvest, determination, and hard work. I also saw moth as well. Okay. Which would be huge transformation and harvest. Determination. We are in harvest season right now. Okay, so this is where we need to be bulking up for the winter. Okay, whatever that means, take it how it resonates. Okay, but you might, and also like this winter, summer, winter, where depending on where you are, it might drastically change your powers. Okay, because you might hit some points of isolation, which help you connect with yourself more. Okay, you might start doing some things that you haven't done since you were a kid and realizing, you know, that kind of opens up the door to new and invigorating things outside. Okay, whatever it is that you're trying to do, as long as you stay in the driver's seat, no one's going to throw you off this. Okay, open up your fucking powers. Let them fly. Because it's working. It's definitely working. And then hedge, potential, boundaries, indecision. So there's a lot of potential for you to access your abilities, okay? And by accessing your abilities, you do have to put a lot of boundaries up there because people will try to steal from you instantly, okay? Because you've got your harvest, you've got your bounty, right? They think, oh, well, they didn't prepare, you know, like they didn't grow anything over the summer, so they don't have a harvest, so they're going to want to come and take yours. Okay, which is why boundaries are huge right now. Locking your door, huge. You might be huge as well, and that's why you might stay a little close to home this winter. And it's because whatever it is that you're packing, whatever it is that you're bulking up, people want it and they want to take it. And the only way that they can take it is if you let them into your home, you let them close to you, you let them touch you. Okay, you let them get into your energy. They will siphon it and take it. So put your boundaries up there. And the whole like teetering on the side of the fence, does magic exist? Doesn't it exist? It exists. Okay, it exists. I don't know. Like, and you know, if you just start throwing all caution to the wind of like thinking that it doesn't exist for the sake of, you know, you're an adult and adults don't believe in magic. Adults should believe in magic more than children, because how much manipulation is out there. Okay, it's not called bad luck. There is no such thing as bad luck. That is divine fucking timing with somebody shitting on your life, okay, and making it known. Don't brush that shit off to, oh, it's bad luck, it's bad luck. That's being paranoia. Paranoia is learning that you're getting the truth from spirit, and they're going to start to caution you, which sounds like paranoia, except you're alive at the end of the situation because that paranoia. Seriously, because it isn't paranoia. Paranoia, there's no There's no such thing as paranoia being a thing where it needs to be aggressively used or shied upon or stayed away from. Like, you use your paranoia right. I mean, it's kind of fear-based, and like to recognize that there's fear in the room recognizes that your life is precious, and at any point in time something could massively go wrong. You are not Superman, you know, you are not going to be able to just fly out of it and you can't get hurt. Like, of course you can get hurt, you're human. Okay, so now integrate that with your superpowers, and look at that. There's gremlins on the bottom of the deck, and it was flipped up. It was facing, which the cards were down, so it shouldn't have been flipped up like that. So that makes me seem like it kind of like you're changing. Okay, and it's about time that you change. It's, you know, it's like from turning in from a kid to an adult, you know, like you're changing phases. You're going from one to another, and it doesn't mean that it's going to be anything bad. It just means that it's time to be unrecognizable to people. It's time to start wearing, you know, what you say on what you do. You know, no more, well, I do this, and yet you throw it all out the window because you're, you know, an influencer and you're just saying it online. Like, if you are not completely full of shit, then that means that whatever it is you're saying, people are listening to. Okay? So, I mean, open up that shit. And again with the first reading too, it kind of seems like, I don't know if you're opening up your gifts or something like that, and maybe you do read tarot, like start reading it online or something. Like, that's how you get better. You know, is the more you do, as they say with tattooing, right? The more you do, the better you get. You know, the more you practice, right? Then the better your results are. So I just, like, honestly, like, try to do things that not everybody does. You know, be unique with your decisions in life and where you want to go to next, because it's not about, well, nobody does that. Bring it back to life. You know, like, oh, nobody does that, so you can't do it? Of course you can. Nobody, when people say people don't do that anymore, I think they're just trying to gaslight it ever being done again because they don't want to do it, or because it's not popular to do it anymore. Again, popularity, we're not here as a popularity contest. Even though it seems like some of us are more popular than others, that doesn't matter. It's not ranked on how many subscribers you have or how many people that you've got attuned to your channel. It's about what you do with your mission while you're here. And if you are kicking ass and taking names and doing what you're supposed to do, then I wouldn't worry about your fucking future at all. And like, I would fucking bust out your skills even more, you know? Like, I mean, it's all about people just trying to make it seem like you're weird and you shouldn't do certain things because other people don't do it, but yet they secretly really want to do it. So why the fuck are they telling you not to do it so then they can just start doing it, you know? So again, try not to, you know, that being the most popular girl in school doesn't do what it does to everybody, you know? Like, it's not the same for everybody. So that's why it's like, man, whatever it is you're having a hard time with, whatever, spirit is on your side. Okay, 4825, spirit's on your side, nobody else's. So remember that. And they want you to succeed. Okay, and clearly you're gonna have people who don't want you to succeed, but who gives a fuck about them? Pretty sure I didn't go to the person who hates me the most in the world and ask what they would like me to do with my life. Okay? Because you're going to get an awful fucking answer. So I hope it resonates. All right. WhitneyMoonshine@gmail.com for personal readings. If not, just enjoy the freeness of the channel. Peace out.